and a very warm welcome to Lamport Stadium in Toronto. It's round 16 of the Betfred Championship. The Toronto Wolfpack against the London Broncos. Nigel Reid alongside Brian Noble, a proud and very valued member of the British Empire. Brian, here we have the first place team in the championship, the Wolfpack, against the league's leading point scorers. It has, on paper at least, all the ingredients to be one heck of a game.
Well, it has the feel as well already, doesn't it? I mean, the Torontonians are just starting to drift in, and the noise is starting to happen, and the heat on the field, the new field, which I'm sure you'll be speaking about shortly. Two brilliant teams. London Broncos have been outstanding this year in the way that they've approached games and played football. We can talk about some of their individuals later, but they've got a team full of stars, if you like, that want to show their ways and the right brand of rugby league, throwing the ball around. And we've got a Wolfpack team that do that anyway. Paul Rowley's philosophy on coaching is to move the ball around, move the opposition around, and when you get two teams like that, two capital teams, we've got a London team and a Toronto team, so not quite the capital, but a large city, and
capital of Ontario.
Yes, well, and you'll get little bits of it right.
There you go.
But I'm really excited about the game, the atmosphere. We've got that event feel about this day, and I can't wait.
You talked about the new turf, and literally we have brand new turf here at Lamport Stadium, which I'm sure the players will approve of. It's looking terrific, and it's long overdue. Obviously it's a city-owned facility, but kudos to the city, and I'm not sure whether the Wolfpack threw in any dollars as well, but wherever the finance came from, the field actually is looking pretty good, Brian, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody's thrilled with the field. It's an outstanding rugby league field. It'll be a fast track, as they say. The bounce might be a little bit indifferent with it being laid, but I have to say that both the local authority and the council have done a terrific job getting the field ready. It has been a bit of a worry for everybody concerned. We played one game out of Markham, if you remember already.
I do.
In Toronto. But we're absolutely looking forward to today, and the Wolfpack are looking forward to today, and I'm confident that both teams, I know that the Broncos have been here for a few days and they've enjoyed their stay so far, but their whole main purpose and their reason being is to put on a show, bearing in mind they're the only team that's knocked the Wolfpack off this year.
We'll talk about that in a little while. You mentioned the Swinton game, which was up in Markham some weeks ago. Since then, Wolfpack have been back in England. They played a couple of games, won them both. Toulouse up at that wonderful arena at St James's Park in Newcastle. Talk about that for a start.
Well, we were playing with all the Super League teams. It was the weekend for the Magic Weekend, which is a Super League fixture list, and we got ourselves a slot there and gratefully took it 1 versus 2 as it worked out. Toronto versus Toulouse in a thrilling game where Toronto came out in top, but both teams, again, a little bit like today, really, prepared to chance their arm, throw the ball around. Toulouse are rightly so, in my mind, my humble opinion, justifiably second in the league ladder at the moment. And then Toronto that had to play really well and score some good tries to get over the top in front of a large audience as well, with that event feel a little bit like today. And then the week after we're down at the Bash in Blackpool, which is all the same fixture selection, if you like, but for championship clubs, so that's all the top championship clubs playing against them. We had a wow of a game against Lee.
Wasn't it? I mean, a wonderful spectacle. I mean, it had everything. Thrilling conclusion, and Paul Rowley, of course, and his connections with Lee. I mean, he must have bitten all his fingernails and probably some of his toes by the time that one ended.
Well, I thought Toronto did a good job to get themselves in a position to win the game. You know, right at the very death. For those viewers that didn't quite see the game, there was a kick in the last second with the hooter gone for Lee to level the scores to get themselves a point out of there when they've been well up in the game early on in the game. But I think that showed the resilient side of the Wolfpack and the tenacity to get themselves back in front on what would be best described as a clunky performance from them. Lee played really well for long periods of the game, and you're quite right, it was a thriller.
Well, good times and good teams find a way to win.
Yeah.
And every good team has a strong leader. And this season, the Wolfpack has a new leader in Josh McCrone. We spoke to him earlier in the week.
How's your experience been with the Wolfpack in Toronto so far?
Brief. We've only been here 2 weeks, so weather's been fantastic. Unfortunately, the sun's not here. This is about the first day we haven't seen the sun yet, but I'm sure it'll come out this afternoon. City's great, easy to get around. It's streetcars, I think, the trams you got going, they're pretty cool to jump on and go straight into town. So just got a bike and going to do some more exploring.
How are you finding the responsibility of captaining the team so far this season?
It's been a challenge at times, but I think as the season rolled on, my captaincy's sort of evolved as the team has. So there were some harsh lessons learnt there early, but I feel we're heading in the right direction, and hopefully the rest of my teammates feel the same, that my leadership's growing.
In your last game against Lee, we saw a fantastic comeback and a very tight finish. How did you manage your players through those last 20 minutes?
Yeah, I don't think it was as much about me managing the players. I think it was a group. We always felt comfortable that we had time. We never felt rushed, even though they did skip out to 16-point lead there, I think, at one time. So there was always plenty of time on the clock, so it was just about staying to what we've practiced. I mean, it's very cliched, but we stuck to the process, and the process worked.
You're now back at Lamport. What have you heard from the players who experienced it last season?
It's an experience like no other in rugby league, for what I've heard. I've played at some big stadiums, I've played at some suburban grounds. Lucky enough to play at Markham here, and that was a fantastic atmosphere. So I'm excited to experience the beer garden firsthand, feel what 8,000 Canadians sound like. So I'm really excited by that.
Thanks, Josh. Best of luck against London.
Thank you.
Josh McCrone, the captain of the Toronto Wolfpack, preparing for his first adventure at Lamport Stadium, just west of Toronto, in the heart of Liberty Village. A word about Josh McCrone, leadership qualities. Every team needs that strong voice in the dressing room, I guess.
Well, he's a halfback as well, which means he's pivotal.
Yeah.
And that's the reason probably why they say that they're involved in most plays and most direction for the team. But pre-season was good for Josh. He showed his leadership credentials, so they stuck the armband on his considerable biceps. He not only carries the armband well, he's an outstanding citizen.
How do you define a good captain in your experience? You coached so many successful teams. What do you look for when you're looking to pin that armband on someone?
Well, you don't look for greatness and you don't look for the great player. You look for goodness and you look for the right play most of the times in relation to direction. And when things not quite going your way, you're looking for the right words as well, words of wisdom. It's important that it reflects the values of the coach and the team on the field and understands the route that needs to be taken to get over the line in most weeks. With a W, sometimes you're going to lose. He's got to be good then as well. And he shows all of those. He's got some able support this year. I think Ashton Sims has been outstanding with the forwards, so if he's leading the pack, so to speak, around the field, then Josh certainly is le petit général, as we like to call them in coaching circles. So yeah, you've got to have a calm head. When all around you is chaos, you've got to be calm, and that's what you look for in a captain.
Well, as you say, you don't win them all, and we have to mention the fact that the only league loss for the Wolfpack this season was the reverse fixture against the Broncos, and the Broncos won handily that day. I mean, it was a long time ago. Does that hang around in dressing rooms when teams come and meet each other again?
Well, everybody says it doesn't.
I don't believe that.
They came home with a wet sail that day, London. They were the better team by a long way, and it was a great workup call early in the season for the Wolfpack. They played well. Jared Samet was on fire. Everybody's on fire. Kieran Dixon, who's unfortunately not featuring today for the London Broncos, but they've got a complementary staff that will certainly try and do the same thing today. So it's at the back of my mind, not that I'm playing or testing my wares out there. It shouldn't be out. It's about preparing for this week. We've had many games since then and improved in so many areas. It was a newer team then. The Wolfpack team was a newer team then. And London themselves have been through a slight blip in form in relation to results because they were unbeaten at one stage. That doesn't go on all season. But I'm confident that they're finding the kind of form that they had at the start of the year. You know, I watched them in a narrow defeat last week to Toulouse, who I think are a terrific team. And I expect them to come all guns blazing today, Nigel.
You know, Brian, when I was doing my stats during the week, it was quite a surprise to me to see that the Broncos are, by quite a distance, the league's leading point scorers. So they don't have any problems scoring points, and I would imagine the Wolfpack would know that.
Oh boy, watch out. If you let them get on the front foot and you let them play quickly, they're as good a team as any I've seen in relation to ball movement, incision into the line. I think the key to their performance is finding some ruck speed so they can play on top of you. So I think the challenge for the Wolfpack is to negate that and find some ruck speed of their own. And there's nothing like, if you can have a fair share of the ball, this should be some competition.
You talk about speed, there's probably nobody quicker on this field and nobody more up for it than the man we often talk about, and rightly so, leading try scorer Liam Kay. The fans love him. He obviously enjoys his work too.
Yeah, and I think he's got a good compliment today. I think Matty Russell, who's new, a lot of our Torontonians won't have seen it in the flesh. He's a pocket rocket. He's fire. He's in and out of the line. He's very quick. I think they'll enjoy him. And Gareth O'Brien has settled into the team, and we've seen his ways. So we recognise that the Wolfpack do have a good team themselves, but this Broncos team's challenge is to stop the Wolfpack playing, and vice versa. I have to say, you know, the Broncos need stopping.
We've got 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a physical, tough? I mean, by nature the game is physical and tough. Is it going to be tougher and rougher than what we're normally used to?
Well, I think both coaches recognise that strategy can't succeed without strength, and I think, hold on to your hats, this is going to be rough and tough at the start of this game, and there's going to be a bit of biff flying around, a little collision, all legal, trust me, all
Let's
legal,
hope so.
Because I think that battle in the middle is pretty much where all games are won.
So tin hats on for this one, because it is going to be a rough, tough battle between two teams who frankly want to be in the shake-up when the promotion places are handed out at the end of the season. The Toronto Wolfpack against the London Broncos. The anthems coming up soon here at Lamport Stadium. Stay with us. Yes? very warm welcome to Lamport Stadium in Toronto. It is round 16 of the Betfred Championship, and two teams who aim to be very close to the top of the Betfred Championship table at the end of this season. First against fourth, the Toronto Wolfpack against the London Broncos, and the fans filing in their many thousands. And we thank you for joining us. Nigel Reid in the booth alongside Brian Noble. We had a brief chat about it in the pre-game. Chance to have another brief chat about what we expect from these two teams, because I think, Brian, that this is going to be a cracking game.
Well, I mentioned it at the start and the top of the show in relation to the event and what we're getting in relation to, and people have turned up, they're still coming in. It's still quite hard for a Brit to get used to the fact that they come when they want at different times of the kick-off procedure, but certainly the end's full, the two ends are full, the stand underneath us is full, the one over there is filling up, and those elements of anxiety, you know you created something the year before, but you're always not quite sure till the people come back, and they've come back. It's got the great feel.
Starting lineups are brought to you by Tech Savvy. As Brian says, the stadium filling up very nicely. And not everybody will be here by kickoff, but they'll get there. And here is the Wolfpack's starting lineup. Gaz O'Brien at the back, Worthington in the Greg Worthington, I beg, in the centres. Liam Kay and Muddy Russell on the wings. McCrone and Brierley, the halfbacks, and then the forwards: Jake Emmett, Andy Ackers, Ashton Sims, Corey Patterson, Andrew Dixon, and Olsi Krasnicki for the Wolfpack. And that looks like a pretty formidable 13 to me, Brian.
Well, when you consider that the people like Lussick and Bussey are not around, Bob Bezic, who's been a regular starter for the team this year, and there's competition with AJ, you know, Adam Higson, who's not featuring there, and so the squad is looking reasonably healthy. People getting back to fit for the right time of the year. You know, the playoffs are upon us, and hopefully we'll be a part of that. And so it's important that the performances and the intensity reaches its pinnacle for those 7 fixtures at the end of the year.
Fans making themselves comfortable in the sunshine. It's shorts and t-shirt weather. It's pretty muggy out there as well, which might sap the energy of both sets of players as the game goes on. We'll see. Let's talk a little bit about the Broncos lineup. One big omission for the Broncos. Kieran Dixon suspended, their leading point scorer, but we spoke to Danny Ward, their coach, pre-game, and he said, well, as every good coach does, that is going to give an opportunity for somebody else to come in and prove their worth.
Yeah, and you look at their starting lineup and it's very strong. You know, Jay Pitts and Alex Walker probably featured at full. Elliot Keir, Reece Williams, seasoned performers, very good performers, and you have to say that the probable half-pack pairing of Happy Puarangi and Jared Samet are as box office as anybody can be. So they've got plenty of strike in their team. They've got a team that would, well, justifiably they're fourth in the league ladder and probably think they could have been a whole lot higher. The relation to that, James Cunningham at hooker and Tom Spencer up front, Ione as well, so they've got a decent front row. So we've got a box office lineup from London Broncos as well in relation to that, and this will seriously test the Wolfpack's home Lamport opener.
See a glimpse there of the new turf. Tom Crashley, the referee, and his refereeing crew here as well. And there are some Broncos fans here who've made the long trip from the English capital, and they've been rewarded with some really very pleasant weather as we await the appearance of the two teams. Let's hear from the public address announcer.
Today's match, our referee, Thomas Crashley. Touch judge, Michael Manifield. Touch judge, Curtly Etchells. Reserve referee, Joseph Turner. Match commissioner, Ricky Monk. And timekeeper, Eric Moyer. Please welcome to the field the visiting London Broncos.
And here is the tech-savvy starting lineup for the London Broncos. And as you can see, we've got at the fullback position Alex Walker, who scored a couple of tries in that defeat of the Toronto Wolfpack back in round 4. As you correctly predicted, Meadows and Salmon, the halfback pairing, Brian. But however you look at it, it does look like a strong lineup, even in the absence of Kieran Dixon.
With it.
All right, fans, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. After 4 long months on the road, finally, the Pack has come back to Liberty Village. Fans, let's get on your feet. Let's make some noise. It's time to welcome to the field your Toronto Wolfpack.
The white jerseys of the Wolfpack back on familiar territory where they were unbeaten through that inaugural expansion year in 2017. And they line up on the right of the officiating crew as the flags are displayed in front of them of Canada and the United Kingdom. Very shortly now we will hear the playing of the Canadian and the British national anthems.
So if they kick it, do they usually just fucking send it, or do they like kick it?
Fans, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the national anthems of both the United Kingdom and Canada. Performing the anthems this afternoon is the star of the upcoming Wave Stage Theatre Company production of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Connor Murphy.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen, send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Toronto Wolfpack Rugby is presented in partnership with Air Transat. Vacation is calling. 2 points are calling as well for one of these two teams. Toronto Wolfpack leading the Betfred Championship. Just that one defeat way back in round 4. This is round 16 against the men in red of the London Broncos. Is it a distant memory, or is it something of a springboard for the men from the English capital? And it will be the Broncos who will get us underway. All in red, kicking from left to right in this second half on a humid but sunny late afternoon just west of downtown Toronto in the heart of Liberty Village. And if you were with us pre-game, you'll have heard Brian tell us what he thought about how physical this may well be, certainly in the opening stages. And away we go. Josh McCrone with his first catch of the afternoon for the Wolfpack. Sets of 6 if you're new to rugby league. 6 tackles to get as far up the field as you can. And if on the 5th tackle you're not in danger of scoring, you might well kick for position. So the referee will keep tabs on the number of tackles. We will do our best to do so as well.
I could drink these later.
Well, an early penalty for the Wolfpack there, Nigel, which gives them some field position really early on in this game. A high shot on Jake Emmett. There's no contact allowed with the head.
So the Wolfpack then in prime position, between up towards that 20-metre line. That is Jake Emmett. Hands off. McCrone comes left for O'Brien. Breaks 1 tackle. Dummy half is Greg Worthington. He will go right for his skipper, Ashton Sims. He'll take 3 to pull the big man down, the big Fijian. But they're closing in already. Andy Ackers goes right, then comes back left. And very nearly in himself, Sam Hopkins there. In fact, it's Jake Emmett. And are they over the line for the opening score?
The referee saying he's held up there, Nigel. He's taken the ball off him. Ackers was pretty confident, got it down, but he has to move back for our North American watchers. He has to move back 10 metres and play the ball there on play 4.
Was Emmett. Ackers was close by with the dummy and then tried to get it over the whitewash, but didn't quite manage it. It was held up. So back they go.
Well, they've got another result here, the Wolfpack, because I think Rhys Williams dropped the ball trying to catch it, and that should be head and feet to the Wolfpack. It is. So last play kick there from Brierley, puts the ball into the corner, competed for. And Rhys Williams, the left winger for the London Broncos, couldn't come up with the lollies. He dropped them, he spilled them. They're all over the floor, and that means another set of 6 for the Wolfpack.
Scrum down on the London Broncos 10-metre line. And quickly they turn it left. Smothering defence by the red shirts of the Broncos.
Good defence, had to be.
Fleming there, making sure McCrone didn't go any further. But there's plenty of white jerseys in and around that 10-metre line. Krasnicki. Now McCrone has 3 to his left. And this will be the opening score. It's Corey Patterson. Inside 3 minutes. And the Wolfpack have the first try of the game.
Well, one of the new boys at Lamport this year, Corey Patterson, back row forward. McCrone on the ball there. Goes at the line, here he goes at the line, finds Patterson. Red wrong from the boy Fleming for the London Broncos, which keeps the space open for Corey Patterson.
There was 1 too many attackers for the red shirts of the defence, and Patterson ambled through the gap, spotted the ball down for the first 4-pointer, and the kick to come should not cause, well, it's a little wider than I thought it was. I thought he was a little closer to the post, but as you can see, the number 7 on the back of Ryan Brierley there, maybe 7 or 8 metres in from this near touchline, but he's scored plenty of points from out here this season, Ryan Brierley. But the angle is tough. But the opening score through Corey Patterson goes the way of the Toronto Wolfpack. Kicking towards the beer tents at the north end of Lamport Stadium. It's where we'd all like to be on a humid day, isn't it, Brian?
What I would say is the consistent part of that is they're always full.
They are. You're absolutely right. Oh, it's a wonderful kick as well. Just enough draw on it as well. Beautifully done by Ryan Brierley. He's really honed his skills in that direction, hasn't he?
Spends plenty of time practicing, as all good professionals should, and it's a good start. Aided from a Broncos ill-discipline, a penalty, and here's the play. A poor read from the right centre of London Broncos. Fleming, he was going in to try and stop the play. but on the back of a penalty and then not cleaning the kick up from the Wolfpack, so they haven't had the ball yet, London.
Samet gets us underway again. Patterson, the try scorer, to his own 20-metre line. Another set of 6. Liam Kay, we haven't seen anything of him yet. First chance for him to test those muscles in his legs, and if he gets going, as I'm sure we will see throughout the course of his game, Liam Kay in full flight is quite a sight to see. Andy Ackers to the right-hand side. Now, has that been knocked forward?
Yeah, certainly have.
Super critical of like a girl's
Referee will blow the whistle eventually, waiting to see if there'd be any advantage.
A drop ball from the Wolfpack. I'm just wondering if the ball will sweat a little bit, just for our viewers. You know, the ball can get a bit greasy because of the warm weather conditions and the humidity.
So we'll come back just inside Wolfpack territory. It'll be head and feed for the red jerseys of the London Broncos. They will be obviously looking to win their own scrum here and put themselves in a good attacking position and try and cancel out that Patterson try as soon as they can.
That's like my girlfriend right now.
Coming into the game, number 8, Jack Buchanan.
Jack Buchanan on for the interchange for the Wolfpack, and away they come. They go right. First glimpse of a serious Broncos attack. Maddie Fleming on the ball inside for Jamie Meadows. James Cunningham finds Daniel Harrison. All wrapped up by 3 white jerseys. Elliot Keir at dummy half. Meadows again. It's a little untidy. And it looks like they've stolen it, and I think it's Chase Stanley who's stolen it for the home team.
Yeah, it was poor from Meadows, didn't find Samet, who was trying to find. And Chase Stanley jumps onto the ball and picks up the spoils. And in games like this, those little 50-50 events, if they go your way, lead a long way to getting you on the front foot.
So the Wolfpack on the offensive again, up to halfway into Broncos territory. Corey Patterson dragged down, but not before he'd made 4 or 5 metres. Andy Ackers looking to get it wide if they can. Andrew Dixon doesn't need an invitation to get those thighs pumping. And they'll go right again, little grubber kick through. Referee happy, lets it go. Patterson, who's also looking to punt it through as well, following his own kick. And
he got a break there, he got a ricochet off the London player, so another set of 6. So again, Brian North, just to remind you of the rules, because he's grounded the ball in goal, the London fullback, it means a drop out from under the sticks and 6 more plays for the Wolfpack. They were trying to manufacture a last play. Patterson inadvertently came up with a cracker.
Did you like it, Joe?
yeah, he didn't know much about it, but almost led to a second try. That's Alex Walker, who had an outstanding game in the reverse fixture against the Wolfpack back in February. So, drop out from under their own posts. They'll try and get it up as close to halfway as possible. They do so. McCrone with a little bit of footy. And now here come the Wolfpack again.
Jack Buchanan on the field for Ashton Sims, an early replacement there. Don't know if he's an injury of Sims, we'll check on that for you.
Krasnicki in possession as Ackers at dummy half goes right. And then Brierley, big hit coming in there on O'Brien.
Puarangi separated
Brierley
O'Brien
again
from his feet.
I played some league though.
Forward they go, up to the 10-metre line. In another dangerous position.
Dude, I was serious last night.
Trying to go one way, Brierley delayed the pass. There's a man over, a man in the corner. It's the second try, is it? No, it's not.
What's he given there? Says he dropped the ball over the
Yeah,
line.
may well have done, or maybe he had a foot in touch, who knows.
Right, can't be a foot in touch, but I think it's something in goal because they've got a 7-tackle set here because it's a 20-metre restart. So maybe an error from the Wolfpack there in goal, which gives the London Broncos one more play.
As ever, Brian, I bow to your greater knowledge and experience. So the Broncos back in possession, having dodged a bit of a Wolfpack bullet. And they need to really settle themselves into this game, get some decent phases of possession, get themselves inside the Wolfpack half of the field. And look like the threat they certainly did when these two teams met 3 or 4 months ago. Jamie Meadows, and then Matt Davis goes left. There's support on the left-hand side, if they can stay in the confines of the field. Up and under, that one is interesting.
Great take from O'Brien up. Sammett's trying to get some height on the ball there, but for the reversal there, because he caught the ball in goal. With 7 tackle set now for 20-metre restart, a 7 tackle set for the Wolfpack.
Here they come, they start left. Big hit coming in. From Matty Fleming. Corey Patterson. Quick hands from the Wolfpack, but diligent defence from the Broncos. Keeps them penned in their own half for the time being. To retreat, quickly getting on with it. Ackers, full of running, full of vigour. Patterson again, ball's gone to ground. Has it gone backwards? What's the referee decided? No whistle that I heard. Just been turned over. Another handling error from the Wolfpack. Yeah, on the last play as well, so a little bit scruffy there. I think neither McCrone nor Patterson was keen to kick the ball or trying to create some numbers, and ended up with another trying to dribble play from Corey Patterson again, which paid off last time, not quite this time. Mark Ione, New Zealander. Davis getting himself involved just inside the Wolfpack half of the field. And Matt Davis again. So that early try from Corey Patterson and the resulting conversion from Brierley, separating the teams. Patterson in with a huge hit. Well, he felt that one. He certainly felt that one, did Jamie Meadows. Up and under again from Samet. There to be contested, and they've won it. That's terrific stuff, and there's an overlap here on the right-hand side if they can find it. Rhys Williams trying to get to the line. Oh, great play, London. Anti-prizing, recaptured the ball, Purang. He flicked it out the back. You never know who's going to be there, but the white shirt scrambled and showed the kind of desire that you got to do to defend your own chalk. The referee not happy with the restart quite, so we'll go back again. Well, that's the second time that Samet's hoisted one, and that one very nearly led to a London reply. It was certainly creative, so it's clearly a ploy that we might well see through much of the game. Well, they've grown into the game, haven't they, London? Yes, they have. A couple of early errors, and now they're clearly showing their wares. Jack Buchanan brought to earth. There's a dummy half. Wolfpack looking for an exit strategy. That's a good carry. Now Liam Kay picks it up one-handed. Oh, he's gone. Liam Kay. Gone? No, nearly, very nearly. We spoke too soon, but he doesn't need an invitation, let's put it that way. His teammates might be, though. Kay won't be far away. McCrone at dummy half for Ackers, who brought it on another 10, 12 metres. Now the up and under at the other end of the field, looking for the corner. And well watched, I think it was perhaps Williams there. Williams, yeah. Cleaned it up well that time, didn't he? He had a lot of traffic in white jumpers around him, and he's got up into the air, and he's some great breaks from Ackers, Kay, ploughing up the middle of the field, quick play the balls, and in this weather you can see the London team now trying to regroup, blowing bubbles there. Matty Fleming saying, get off me. Once you've made the tackle, you've got to leave the man alone, otherwise you will incur the wrath of the referee. Oh, good tackle. Time from Greg Worthington.
This is like touch, kind of.
Well, it's a bit of a chess match at the moment. Neither team want to make any mistakes, and they did well to get a kick away in the end, Meadows. All the way down to Gareth O'Brien, and then Matty Russell at full speed, but wrapped up short of halfway. But it's a good engaging battle at this stage. Telling you something else for our viewers. It's warm out there. Yeah, it is. You see the heat thermals kind of rising from the field, and Well, we were down at field level about half an hour or so before kickoff, and it was very humid, and we were just standing there, Brian. These guys are going full tilt. So it's energy-sapping conditions for all these players. Buchanan to 30 metres short. They'll go left with McCrone, Worthington, and Liam Kay. Liam Kay for the corner. Liam Kay's in.
What a finish.
Terrific stuff. How many times have we seen that over the years? And Liam Kay in for the second score for the Wolfpack.
Well, take a bow, Josh McCrone. He finds him to perfection here. It's Liam Kay's speciality. Needs finishing. We take this for granted, but it needs finishing.
It does.
There's the ball. It's from O'Brien. I got it wrong. It's McCrone that gives it to O'Brien, who goes into the line, and a 3-on-2, and he finds Kay to perfection. So my bad there, Gareth. A brilliant ball from you to get Liam Kay away in the corner. Still needed scoring. Walker's flying across, trying to stop the play. Great finish from Liam Kay. There it is. This is the end on. Just didn't quite catch it there.
Just too quick for the cameraman as well. But then Liam Kay is too quick for most people, it has to be said. What I can tell you is that is, by my reckoning at least, Liam Kay's 20th try of the season in all competitions in just 19 performances, or 19 appearances. So that is a measure of the man. Already has 3 hat-tricks this season, Liam Kay. And as advertised, Kay crosses in the corner, and Brierley way out on this left-hand touchline will attempt to add the extras and double the lead. 10-0 in favour of the Wolfpack. Now can Brierley slot this one over? Oh, it's close, you know. Yeah, it did. I just thought it shaved the post, but the flags went up behind. The ball ends up in the beer tents.
There you go. Needs finishing this, so he takes off. And just to explain that rule again for new viewers, it doesn't matter that he takes the corner flag out. It's adjudicated that he's not in touch because he's in the air as long as he grounds the ball infield.
So Kay and Brierley, and now Jared Samet gets us underway again. Long and deep. Buchanan takes the offload. The red jerseys are there to greet him. First tackle. Buchanan keen to get up, keen to get on with it. And just over a quarter of an hour gone at Lamport Stadium on the new turf. And so far, so good for the Toronto Wolfpack. Corey Patterson, Liam Kay in for the tries, both of which were expertly converted by Brian Brierley.
Buchanan's been impressive since he came on the field, Nigel, but the referee just dropped the ball. I give him the commentator's curse there. He's been playing real well, and then he just dropped it.
Tom Crashley saw it, so indicates a scrum down. Happens all the time. You build a player up, and then he drops the ball. I've lost count of the number of times that's happened in my career, Brian.
Some people have called you a jinx.
A lot of people call me a lot of things. That's one of the nicer ones. So scrum down on halfway then. Jamie Meadows will feed it for the Broncos. Don't expect this to go in straight. Never does in rugby, but that's okay, as long as both sides know what's going on. So they'll look to fashion a response in the humidity in the late afternoon here in Toronto.
Penalty here for a head-high shot on Cunningham. Maybe an opportunity for the Broncos to get some field position. Their first goal reel with any kind of positioning at all, Nigel. So that
Samet down to around about 20 metres or thereabouts, just short, 30 metres.
Many people call the red zone the danger zone for defensive teams.
Meadows ran into his own man then, and then had to accept the tackle from Krasnicki.
Somebody missed their assignment there.
They did. Here they go again with Mark Ione. Almost down to the 10-metre line, 11 or 12 short. 4 tackles to come. Maybe this is the opportunity. Daniel Harrison up to the 10-metre line. Now, in the red zone. Can they make something happen? Meadows is trying to jink one way then the other, but was all wrapped up.
It's all on the last play now. Samet, the go-to man.
Little check forward from Samet, but in there well was Gareth O'Brien, kept his eye on the ball.
He did a great job. He had to.
Yeah.
Lots of pressure.
Turnover, but the Broncos...
They're getting themselves all vigorous here, the Broncos, aren't they? Want to restrict the territory on the Wolfpack.
For sure they do.
With a decent line speed.
Wolfpack, of course, on the other hand, want to get out of that area as soon as they possibly can. With as few as possible tackles as possible. Kay, that looked a little high, did it? Well, it was certainly round the neck, but not dangerous according to the referee. On we go.
That out on the full, Brian Riley. And that's all on the back, and that's the rewards for the London Broncos. They've aimed up, they've rolled their sleeves up there, they've tried to bash the Wolfpack and restrict territory. Scruffy towards the last play, and they've got great field position now on the back of that reward for investing some energy in the attack.
25 metres out, and 6 tackles to come. So what can the Broncos do here? They go down the blind side for a start. Up to that 20-metre line. 5 more to come. They haven't really knocked on the door yet, but they may now. Oh, they might now. Oh, they're in here. They're in here. It's Jared Samet. It's going to go in under the posts. There was one big gap, and Samet didn't need a second invitation.
I think it's Matty G that's come off the back of a Samet ball there, and he's run around, he's wrapped around the Samet, got back on the inside. Yeah, they're real happy with that little bit of extra pressure, invited back into the game by the Wolfpack because of a poor kick. And they're taking it with both hands, both feet as well. Samet, the architect.
Jared Samet, an Australian-born Maltese international, if you don't mind, is our Air Transat player profile today. Now has the opportunity to convert his own try, which from right in front of the posts should not present a problem for him. So Samet to reduce the arrears. Bread and butter, no problem at all. And the Broncos have halved the deficit to 12-6.
Well, here's Samet. Matty G goes straight through the middle. Mr. Simon and talking between Patterson and Buchanan. Somebody not pointing out the fact that G was coming on the fly. They got too interested in Samet, who wraps around, gets the ball back and puts it under the post.
12-6 game on at Lamport Stadium in Toronto. Gareth O'Brien gets us underway, goes long down in goal. Williams with the safe hands, but quickly the white jerseys surround them. That is the Broncos goal line you're looking at there.
No, a penalty. So letting the Broncos off the hook in relation to that. The referees adjudicated that, couldn't quite see signal what the penalty was for. It's a penalty. We said it is, so it is.
And that's all that matters. The man in green is the man with the whistle. Samet up to just short of halfway. Well, that's where the ball ended, but the ball went out of play a little closer to his own goal line. So about 20 metres out now. Because and Emmett combine to do the defending.
Well, they would have given it a lift. The score there for the Broncos. Wrong page of this game, it's been all the Wolfpack. The Broncos are responding the only way you can. And
Rhys Williams has also caught the eye. Offloads to Daniel Harrison. Adam Sidlow on from the interchange. And Corey Patterson.
Somebody's hurt here.
Corey Patterson is down, and he's stayed down. He's going to get some running repairs. He and Adam Sidlow combined for the tackle just about on halfway. Patterson a little slow to rise.
Let's have a look. Cunningham gives it off to Harrison. Maybe a slight deflection from Sidlow's knee, maybe, or a bit of contact on the hip of the ball carrier.
Well, I can tell you that Patterson is back on his mark, so no lasting damage done, that's for sure. And now Cunningham. Up and under again, we've seen that before. Plenty of height, not much distance. O'Brien did well again.
Good shot from Samet on the pickup as well, but it's a great catch from Gareth O'Brien. Clear what the London Broncos want to do here. They're going to put the ball as high as they can and get as many red jumpers down there to create some pressure, so that all the responsibility on the ball catcher.
Well, you know what, it's a test of nerve apart from anything else, because you know it's your responsibility if the ball's coming your way, but you also know there's 2 or 3 red jerseys dashing straight at you at the time.
You can hear the hoops.
Yes, you can. But it's 3 occasions now that they've tried that ploy. So it's clearly a feature and something they've worked on in training. They think maybe there's a chink in the Wolfpack armour. Meanwhile, the Wolfpack coming forward themselves again now through Andy Ackers. Down he goes, wrapped up by 3. Now Jake Emmett, big battering ram, takes 2.5 of them to bring Emmett to ground. Ackers goes right. Brierley. And now Chase Stanley up to the Broncos' 10-metre line. Tackles running short. Brierley combines with Emmett. Hands off, returns the favour. McCrone. Little grubber kick through. Kay's interested, but he won't get there because Elliot Keir got there first.
Quick play the ball from Keir as well. He's done there. Cleaned up the kick from McCrone in the backfield. Back into that grind and bump and grind, and the Broncos trying to make meters and the Wolfpack trying to restrict their meters.
Well, you said to me 20 minutes before the game you thought this was going to be one of those rough, tough games where, you know, no holds barred, but it's been actually pretty clean. There haven't been any nasty hits, but certainly both teams fully committed, as you would expect, Brian.
Yeah, and my intimation there wasn't that it'd be foul play at all. Brilliant teams, these two, and an indication there of the heat maybe for the Broncos. Samet finding the sideline so his players can go have a rest at the scrum in essence, and see how the Wolfpack can ruck their ball out their own half.
Just a chance to catch their breath. It is very humid late in the afternoon in Toronto. It's not that warm in terms of the air temperature, but it is very humid. It's that sort of day that we often find here in the summer. It's quite oppressive. So if you're going to run around in it as a professional athlete, of course you are attuned because you're a professional athlete, but that doesn't mean that you don't need to manage your energy at the same time. We're on the Wolfpack 20-metre line. It'll be head and feed for Ryan Brierley of the Wolfpack. That goes out the back, comes left. Red jerseys there to greet him, among them Maddie Fleming. Greg Worthington. Stanley. 3 quick tackles gone. Referee has blown the whistle. That wasn't...
well, he nearly blew it the time before. They were getting a bit scruffy in contact with the Broncos, and so he could have blown it 2 or 3 times for a number of penalties, offside and scruffy at the play of the ball, and he clearly got that one.
Well, there wasn't any contact there from Stanley to McCrone, but it benefited the Wolfpack anyway. They kicked for position, and now they're in dangerous territory as far as the Broncos are concerned. Here comes Buchanan again on the charge. Ackers at dummy half, picks it up, he's going himself. Needs some help. Referee's whistle for the tackle by Harrison.
That's great play from Mackers. He's picked out the fact that Jack Buchanan's got a terrifically quick play of the ball. Jay Pitts is complaining that too quick, that he was square at the play of the ball. Matty G was square at the play of the ball.
Tie as well. Andy Ackers, by the way, former London Broncos player, so a victory today would be very sweet for the Wolfpack hooker. Everybody taking on some liquid, as we say. It is humid, don't want to sound like a broken record, but it is tough for these players in these conditions.
Olsi Krasniki also played for the Broncos, nice.
Indeed, he was raised in London, although born in Albania. So penalty, don't often see these, but it all adds to the total at the end of the day, and Ryan Brierley right in front of the posts will surely have no problem slotting this over in the direction of King Street, and through it goes and out of the stadium, and indeed onto King Street it goes, narrowly missing a passing vehicle.
I think it's a measure of the respect that Toronto building field position, building points on the board, takes them 2 scores ahead again, of course.
14-6 with the penalty from Brierley. As you look at Adam Sidlow. As I said, I kept an eye on the ball as it disappeared out of the stadium. This is where it went, and watch what happens there, and then it bounces left and almost hits the unsuspecting motorist, who thinks, what the heck is going on? Why is there an egg bouncing in front of my vehicle?
Aliens landing.
Aliens, they've landed finally, Brian.
Yeah. Dropping eggs.
Did it end up in the street? I don't know.
Jared Samet has the ball back, not necessarily the one that was kicked into King Street. I think we've got a replacement football now. Samet, plenty of air underneath it. McCrone, I think, is the recipient this time. Wolfpack skipper had time to make the catch comfortably. Sidlow. Real battering ram, Adam Sidlow. Doesn't take any prisoners, doesn't expect any favours either. Brierley hands off to Andrew Dixon. Almost up to halfway. Crowd growing as the game goes on, nearly half an hour in, and it's pretty full inside Lamport Stadium.
It's a great crowd, isn't it?
14-6, Patterson and Kay the early tries. And then Samet with the reply for the Broncos. Up and under again, well taken. Buried under a mountain of white jerseys. But kept his eye on Alex Walker.
Some line speed now. Got it on player 1.
Sidlow wrapping up Williams. Need to get out of there. That looked a little high, but the referee let it go. Maddie Fleming. These are the hard meters for the Broncos. Big hit there.
I think.
Yeah. So look, Andy Ackers gets himself up a little gingerly, but he's back in the game, and that looked high as well. Yeah, I think that was
too high. Play 5.
Yeah. Penalty coming the way of the Broncos.
Needed that penalty, the Broncos.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's have a look at that. Yep, clearly can see contact with the head there. I think it's Ryan Brierley. Chase Stanley goes.
Chase Stanley
falls
was.
off.
It was. There was certainly a high arm. Originally I thought it was Brierley, but it was indeed Stanley, to be completely fair to Brierley. James Cunningham bounces off one, then goes to ground under the challenge of Jack Buchanan. Referee's whistle has gone again.
A couple of penalties on the bounce here, and this kind of weather gives free field position to the Broncos. It's Batty that went smashed into the line, and Cunningham was trying to pick the ball up on the back of it.
Inside the Wolfpack 20-metre line, Dixon with the tackle. Won't go right, there's plenty of bodies there in support. Eddie Batty on from the interchange for the Broncos. They're closing in. They can really do with a score before half-time. It's a great run.
Great tackle in the end. Saw the space, didn't he, and flew up the line.
He wants to get on with it.
Jared Salmon.
And Gareth O'Brien is saying, well, okay.
Another penalty.
Yeah. He'd been lying on too long that time.
Took off.
Way too long.
Didn't he? Salmon just
did.
went ping.
He did.
Great
So,
tackling in the end from O'Brien.
10 metres short, 6 more to come. This is a golden opportunity for the Broncos. Matty Fleming is pulled down. 12 metres short. Fleming for Meadows, and they find the gap.
You can see he's taller than
They come. Williams took 3 to stop him. It's a little untidy, but at least it went backwards.
A little bounce pass. Generally the defence stops when that happens, but they kept moving forward, the Wolfpack defence.
Can they get in? They've got men over. Meadows has to accept the challenge.
Last tackle.
Last tackle. What will they do? This is the big opportunity. Needs quick hands. It's not quick enough. It's gone backwards. They've kept it alive. Elliot Keir looking for a little bit of support, and straight into Buchanan. Walker, little chink over the top, and batted out of play as Williams was ready to pounce in the corner.
Well, the manufacturer last player there, Matty Russell's had to scramble back. He's nearly going over his head, and he has to claw at it. It's the best way, and hooked it out, and 6 more plays for the Broncos on the manufactured last player.
You're absolutely right. My apologies. He needed to get something on it because Williams was poaching behind him. It would have fallen straight into his arms and he'd have been over in the corner. So as you say, Matty Russell did, well, he improvised, didn't he? Did whatever he needed to do at that stage.
I actually thought there was a bit of a knock-on in the build-up to that from the Broncos.
So O'Brien, from the dropout from under his own posts up to halfway. 6 more. Cunningham, referee's whistle, goes the way of the Broncos again.
He's had a push and shove at him, he dominated the tackle there, and then he's pushed. It's Adam Sidlow that's pushed the Broncos player. He's calling the captain over.
Word with Josh McCrone, presumably along the lines of control your players, because I keep giving penalties to your opponents. And indiscipline can be very harmful in this game. Matt Davis forward for the Broncos. 7 minutes to half time. Broncos very much in this. Big shot.
Good shot.
Big shot on Samet there. I think it was Patterson.
It was.
It's quick hands again. Scrambling defense by the Wolfpack. So far, so good. Cunningham, much involved for Daniel Harrison. Kept it alive again. Fleming trying to force his way through a gap that wasn't there. But he's only 3 or 4 meters short. Cunningham for Fleming. Meadows, I beg your pardon.
Good defense. Good hit. All on the last play again here for the Broncos.
Plenty forward. 4 over. Little grubber kick through. It didn't work. Well fielded by
a smart player. You're showing now why they've scored so many points. This Broncos team, they ask a lot of questions. And the D holding out.
They've been knocking on the door for a while. They only have that one try, converted try. And Jared Samet to show for their efforts.
Well, Blake Wallace is on the field. And our viewers that recognise him with dark hair will recognise him now.
I know. There he is.
He lost a bet.
Is that what it was? I was going to say there must have been something going on behind the scenes.
You wouldn't dye your hair that colour, surely.
I don't have enough hair to dye it that colour, or any other colour for that matter. But he's a brave man, or it was a foolish bet. I'm not quite sure, Brian. Maybe both.
Well, there's a smart kick from Bryle. He's been 3 or 4 defensive sets on the bounce, and he's found a sideline to recharge the batteries of this Wolfpack team. Alex Walker had a look and said, shall I pick it up? And thought, nah, too many white jumpers in front of me. We'll have a rest as well.
That was a lovely kick, wasn't it? Kicked in a touch.
Refreshments as they go. On the go. And we're right up to the Broncos 10-metre line there. So another position of promise for the Wolfpack.
Well, remember, it's London that have the ball. So.
Well, it is, and you would expect them to win it, which they do, but it doesn't always work out like that. Occasionally people lose the ball. That looked, Patterson wasn't penalised. That certainly wasn't round his hips, but referee happy to let it go. Keir brings it forward.
A couple of fresh shoots for the Wolfpack in Hopkins and Blake Wallace.
There is Wallace, the Australian. Broke his foot or his leg last year. He was up here in the booth with us for a while. But he's looking fighting fit now, and that's good to see. Matt Davis. As forwards come the Broncos, and that's well the Sadiq Adabi on from the interchange for the Broncos.
Well, anything you can do, we can do as well.
Well, that's very
They've had
true.
a kick for the sideline, so clearly the Energy 11's been tested for both teams. They did a fair job there, you have to say, the London Broncos. They've rucked the ball out of their own half, bearing in mind from where they started, and kicked to sideline.
Everybody else catches their breath again. 2 or 3 minutes away from that half-time hooter, which in this humidity, I can assure you, probably can't come quickly enough for these players. Brierley with the put-in, should win it. Wallace funnels it left. Referee's whistle. Oh no, did I hear a ghost whistle there? Or was there a... There was a whistle.
There was a whistle. Penalty to the Wolfpack, I think. Dangerous tackle here. He's put Matty Russell in a dangerous position and lifted him beyond the 90 degrees.
You know what, Mr. Crashley might consider changing that whistle at half-time, because it's been a little difficult to hear on occasions. Or maybe my hearing's going. I'm not quite sure.
We'll get a message down.
I think the P in his whistle has seen better days, Brian. Anyway, it is a penalty, as you can see. And kicking for touch. And up towards half-time. There we go.
I don't know about the car, it just hit the young lady on the bonds.
I think it might well have done.
Bonds been ahead of
Bonds, indeed. Sidlow up towards halfway for the Wolfpack. A couple of minutes to go in this first half. Wolfpack leading by 2 tries to 1. Patterson and Kay. Samet replying for the Broncos. There's the hooter for half-time.
Oh, that's an alarm. That's an ambulance.
Oh no, that was now. I beg your pardon. Isn't that amazing? I thought that was the hooter for half-time.
Never mind the whistle, Nigel.
I know.
It's an ambulance.
And then I glanced down at the clock and I thought, no, that can't be right. We've only played 38 minutes. My apologies. Liam Kay. I honestly thought it was the half-time hooter. Liam Kay battling his way through. My goodness. Well, I certainly heard that, so there's nothing wrong with my hearing after all, Brian. Ryan Brierley out to that right-hand side, and they're going to go into the corner here.
Oh, great tackle.
Matty Russell held up a metre, well, less than a metre short. And that's the hit of the game, the Maple Leaf Diamonds hit of the game, right there, as Matty Russell thought he was going in for the 3rd try for the Wolfpack.
Certainly was. Stanley gets on the outside of his man, finds the flick pass. He's Don Williams, but what about the cover tackle from Jay Pitts and Jared Sammer? That's desire for you.
Jay Pitts doing what every good captain does, leads by example. And ushered Matty Russell into touch. And a try-saving tackle for sure, no question about that.
Well, it was good football.
Yeah.
Stanley gets on the outside of his man, creates a 2-on-1, flick passes to Russell, going in the corner, but big credit to this Broncos defence. They've flown across the sideline, haven't they?
Well, a lot of the publicity for the Broncos this season has been about how good they are at scoring points. But we've seen in the first 40 here, Brian, that they're no mugs when it comes to defence either.
Well, they're having a crack. But if you want to be competitive in this championship this year, you've got to have a crack.
Because people's no consistency.
Final few seconds of this first half. Yeah, I heard that whistle. Maybe the referee changed his P that time. It indeed will be a penalty for the Broncos for the challenge on Cunningham.
Yeah, I think he ran out of dummy half, and I don't know whether he's given a high shot or he's given an offside or high shot. There's the indication. So a bit of defence to do at the end of this first half.
So field position for the Broncos into Wolfpack territory. 6 more to come. Now, can they do this cleanly, and can they do it quickly? Just trailing by that one try. Matt Davis. Here they come again. This is better pace, better handling from the Broncos. Api Puarangi on from the he's been on the field. Haven't seen too much of him. This man is on from the interchange though. That's Sadiq Arabi.
Yeah. Big tough.
Yeah, oh he is. Second senior year, former academy captain by the way, Arabi. Just a young player, just 21 years of age. Can they, well, they're getting very close. Josh McCrone just grabbed it at the vital moment. Liam Kay at dummy half. Away they come. Stoppage time at the end of this first half.
Crack here, London. Getting their energy levels up. They're trying to.
Greg's a fighter. It's funny watching guys tackle. He just fights every time.
Dixon.
Tackling there, there's a couple kids like my size, right?
They come again. Now, I think that was the hooter, as opposed to a passing emergency vehicle.
I thought it was a vuvuzela.
Well, it might have been that too. It did actually sound like a vuvuzela.
Good half of rugby though, Nigel.
Yes, a very entertaining half of rugby. And there's not much between these two teams, just 2 tries to 1 in favour of the Wolfpack. Liam Kay was one of the scorers. Corey Patterson opened it up. A couple of goals from Ryan Brierley and a penalty as well. And Jared Samet converting his own try for the Broncos as the teams head for that half-time refreshment. My goodness, they need it in this humidity. Good game. Plenty more entertainment to come from Lamport Stadium. The Wolfpack leading the Broncos at half-time by 14 points to 6. Toronto Wolfpack Rugby is presented in partnership with Air Transat. Vacation is calling. It's brought to you by Maple Leaf Diamonds, true Canadian treasures, and by Tech Savvy. 20 years of being different in a good way. Welcome back to Toronto Wolfpack Rugby. At the Half is presented by Maple Leaf Diamonds, true Canadian treasures. It's been a fascinating first half in round 16 of the Betfred Championship. Fans enjoyed it. In the heat and humidity, Wolfpack, tough conditions it has to be said against the Broncos. Both in the top 4 at start of play. Everybody chasing the Wolfpack at the top of the table. And a pretty even first half, Brian. 2 tries to 1, and both teams, I think, gave as good as they've got.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, Nigel. I think London, when they've had the field position, are looking more and more dangerous, so the Wolfpack have had to defend well. And clearly when the Wolfpack have been down at the right ends of the field, they too have looked dangerous. So, yeah, good game. Nice and in the balance.
Let's take a look at one or two of those highlights, and Corey Patterson getting it going for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and that was a misread, I think, from Fleming. I think they get to a little bit of space going there, and clearly Clunky at the start of this game, the Broncos, great loose ball from Chase Stanley. So the Patterson finish, here we go.
Well, we did see it. We honestly did.
And there's the new signing.
There is the new signing, announced to major aplomb this week. The Toronto Wolfpack, Wolf, of course. Now, the thing is that he or she, I'm not going to get into the gender debate on this, doesn't have a name that I'm aware of, but there is a competition to name the new Wolfpack mascot. And if you follow the Toronto Wolfpack on Twitter, there you go, there's the handle, @TO Wolfpack. You can vote, and I think there's a short list of 3 names, one of which I'm pretty sure is Alpha, as in the leader of the pack. I'm not absolutely sure of the other 2. I was trying to remember them, but my memory's clearly going. But get online @TO Wolfpack and have your say, because there is the new signing.
That's a Wolf goes. He's pretty good looking, isn't he?
He is.
Or she's very
he
beautiful.
or she, yes. It's a very, very well turned out Wolf. And the race is on to give the Wolfpack's new signing a name of which he or she can be proud. So, I wonder whether they're actually going to do it today. It may be, it may be that they're actually going to christen or baptize the Wolf at half-time.
I think I just heard it.
Did you?
I think I did. Am I allowed to say?
Well, I think everybody else around the stadium heard it, so I think you better go with it, Brian.
I think I'm putting my
Go
reputation
ahead.
on the line.
No.
I think I heard Jefferson.
Now Jefferson, if it is Jefferson, that's really interesting, as opposed to Alpha, and it'll be Jefferson because that is the name of the street alongside which runs wonderful Lamport Stadium.
You watch, they're going to make me fool of me now.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Well, here's some more highlights.
We had some
for
more
us.
highlights. There we go. So Jefferson, the Wolf.
Well, a bit of great biff from the London defence. Now they get a go in attack, and Samet puts G through a hole and follows his own play up. And they're back in the game out of the Broncos at this stage. Great catch from O'Brien. He's had to do a fair bit of that, to be honest, because one of the London tactics is to put the ball as high as they can to get red shirts into the frame. There's Samet again. He just took off. That's an unbelievable tackle from Gaz O'Brien underneath there. And
yeah, Samet very much in evidence, not only the runs but also the tactical kicking as well. And this is when they thought they'd scored a second one. Maddie Davis held up, just a couple of feet, less than a metre short.
Yeah, Maddie Russell, you'd back him any day of the week, get into the corner, but no, the Broncos had a different idea and produced one of those moments that you have to do in games to win them. When you're away from home, you cross the pond, as they say.
So what we've seen is 3 tries in that first half. Patterson and Liam Kay in the other corner. Both converted very, very well, by the way, from out wide from Ryan Brierley. And then Jared Samet with that dash in, that dart in under the post. He, of course, converted his own try. Ryan Brierley with a penalty later in the half for the Wolfpack. And that adds up to a half-time score of 14-6 for the home side. Looking to defend the den. As the crowd are being entertained at half-time.
I think Danny Ward, the London coach, will be saying more of the same, please. At the other end of the field, we're starting to look more and more threatening. You have to say that the Wolfpack have defended their chalk pretty well as well. And for the Wolfpack, get yourselves back into the right end of the fields and execute, you know, a couple of last plays and put them under pressure and see what they've got. We saw a little exchange when both teams had done that, where they had to kick for sidelines because of the humidity today.
That isn't Jefferson, the Wolf. That's just a very, very enthusiastic fan. But here we are. Here's DMK's try in the corner, and as you said, I mean, we've got so used to seeing him doing that, but you made a very good point that he has to use all his athleticism and his power to get over in the corner.
Yeah, and just to explain again for our new viewers, is that he's allowed to take off and he's allowed to take the corner post out, which in previous years would have counted as him being in touch and out the sideline. But so his legs can be, as long as they're in the air, they can touch the corner flag as long as he grounds the ball in field and in goal.
That was Liam Kay's 20th try of the season in just 19 appearances. Well, 18 and a half appearances, I suppose we should say, because we're only at half time. And Liam Kay will be looking to stretch those long legs of him again in the second half. Matty Russell got very close on the other wing. It was just held up by an excellent try by excellent tackle by Jay Pitts. We should credit the defending of the London Broncos again. And in these conditions, well, I'm not going to woo, but I hear you. I do hear you. In these conditions, you have to manage your energy, don't you, Brian? Because it's an 80-minute game. Obviously, there's the interchange comes into play as well. But an individual athlete knows where his limits are.
Yeah, absolutely. Look after the ball is probably,
well, that too,
the phrase that the coach will say, because the more ball you have, the more energy you have. Because the other stuff, where you have to bend your back and belt people and get involved in the wrestle and winning the ground and all, that's tough in this weather. But both teams have shown in spades, really, they're up to it. They're up for the game, they're up for the fixture. It's every bit as exciting I thought it would be.
So half-time at Lamport Stadium at the Den, the home of Jefferson the Wolf, and the Wolfpack leading the Broncos, but not by much. 2 tries to 1, 14 points to 6 at the half is presented by Maple Leaf Diamonds, true Canadian treasures. Toronto Wolfpack Rugby presented in partnership with Air Transat, Vacation is Calling, and by Maple Leaf Diamonds, true Canadian treasures, and by Tech Savvy, 20 years of being different in a good way. Half-time at Lamport Stadium. Toronto Wolfpack leading the Broncos by 2 tries to 1. Wolfpack Rugby is presented in partnership with Air Transat. Vacation is calling as we await the re-emergence of the two teams. Broncos, the only team to beat the Wolfpack in league play so far this season. And they're not far behind in the reverse fixture. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess, Brian, and which way this might turn out in the next 40 minutes.
No, you can, in many respects, you can flip a coin. It's whoever rocks up and shows up in this second half. And that will be the difference for our viewers this year. You know, he's such a special player for them. He can change any game at any time. So I'm confident that the Wolfpack will have spoken about that and use their own prowess themselves, because they've got some pretty decent players too.
Jared Samet has 14 tries under his belt this season. That NRL experience down under with Penrith some years ago. So he knows all the tricks of the trade, the Broncos number 7.
Yeah, they've got some cute cookies on the quiet. Harrison played at Parramatta, you know, Ione in our Pure Angie, good stint for London Irish in London, you know, he's quality players. So you look through their ranks and they've got some good blokes.
And a word about Jay Pitts, the captain. Second year with the Broncos, but had experience with Hull and Bradford, so he's played at a very good level as well.
Yeah. They're no mugs. It's going to be a good second half, this.
You're looking at James Cunningham. Talking of Hull, he was born there. He's now in his 5th year with the Broncos, but again, former Hull FC player. So the Broncos are back, and as you can see from James Cunningham and one or two others, they're wondering where the home team have got to. Well, I can tell them. They're just emerging, the white jerseys. Here they come. Maybe Paul Rowley's half-time team talk overran. But they are back now, and we are all ready for the start of the second half. It's the 16th round of the Betfred Championship. Toronto Wolfpack starting a run of 8 straight home games, which will take us to the end of the regular season. Here at Lamport Stadium, the Den, which has been recarpeted in the last couple of months. Brand new surface for the players to perform on. Josh McCrone with one or two last words before the second half kicks off.
It's a good crowd in here today for the Lamport opener. Potential up to 100 million viewers worldwide, with Asia and North America, and fantastic.
It's all spreading the gospel. That's what it's all about. You can see the Toronto skyline in the background there. Straight to Samet, who we'd already mentioned, and how they be quickly into it. Second half underway.
Please hear me. I hope somebody hears me. Turn the mic on.
Cunningham for the Broncos.
It's got to be his second carry, isn't it?
And again, Samet always ready to get himself involved. Cunningham at dummy half as the Broncos approach halfway now.
No surprise there.
They're only a try behind, so I mean, if you're Danny Ward, what are you saying? What did you say to your players at half-time as they look for touch and they find it?
Oh, that's Jared Samet for you. If you allow him to kick.
Excellent kick.
Simple approach. You clearly there's the coach's message for our viewers watching. So simplify this game. Get yourselves out of that half. So there were 5 pretty much drives in and around the middle of the field. Then give it to Jared Samet. He'll boot the ball into the corner, and we're in the right parts of the field. So he'll be talking about continuing that kind of work so they can get the benefits of any spoils. If you coach Rowley, you'll be looking at push a little bit more for each other, shape up in attack, and will clearly know how to outnumber the Broncos' defence, but they're going to have to be patient and control the ball themselves.
Wallace, as the Wolfpack win their own scrum, as you would expect.
That's a high tackle.
Whistle, yeah, high tackle indeed. So 6 more automatically.
And both coaches, Nigel, just for others, will be saying, don't give penalties away, because it's free possessions.
That's right. It's all part of the game. You've got to keep it clean, or it'll come back and bite you at some stage. Tap and go then from Wallace. Adam Sidlow. It'll take 3 to put him on the deck. Wallace at dummy half for the Wolfpack. McCrone over halfway they go.
There goes O'Brien. He's got something on his inside.
It's going to be Corey Patterson.
Patterson all the way. Did he get it down?
I'm not sure he did, you know. They think he did.
Yeah, he does as well.
He did. Well, there's plenty of smiles.
Yeah, he slammed it down.
Yeah. He was almost turned over as he went over the goal line, but the score will count, and Patterson has his second try of the afternoon, all made by Gaz O'Brien.
Yeah, it's McCrone to Gaz O'Brien. They've outnumbered London on that right side. Patterson's pushed on the inside, and there he slams the ball down, as we clearly see. So there he goes, Gareth O'Brien at the middle. Walker tries to stop the play, can't. Patterson's on the inside supporting, and a great start for this Wolfpack in the second half.
Receiving the congratulations of Wallace and Worthington, and the kick to come from Ryan Brierley. And this should be like shelling peas for Brian Brierley, bearing in mind he kicked a couple from a lot further out, a much more acute angle. You wouldn't expect him to miss this, but he's always professional, goes through his usual warm-up routine. Some running repairs back on halfway to the try scorer, Patterson. He was tackled as he went over. Meanwhile, Brierley focused on the posts in front of him and tacking on the extras. No problem at all. So 20 points to 6 in favour of the Wolfpack, with a morale-boosting try right at the start of the second half.
And it's important you say that. Here's a break on the inside. We see the latter stage of it where Patterson goes down, clearly plants the ball down there. There's a lead up with Macron and released O'Brien. And you're right, you mentioned, I was just about to say, morale-boosting try. Well, it's quite a dent in the London Broncos as well, so they're going to have to recover from that, because that's pretty much Toronto's first goal with the ball in the second half.
Patterson back in the thick of it. Having scored the try, doing his day job, if you like, of defending as well. Sidlow on the deck. They took their time getting off him. Referee let it go.
I think the Wolfpack big boys on the quiet have done a decent job today. Emmett, and here we are again. Jake Emmett, a smart player, making his meters and carrying the ball.
You know what, Jake Emmett, whenever I see him twisting and turning and working his way forward, he's not the quickest, but he's really difficult to put on the floor. He just has a slipperiness about him, which is a great asset for a man. And then the up and under from Brierley. Invitation here, who wants it most? Well, it's gone loose.
Free for all. I think it was Brierley that knocked it back, and it was up for grabs, and a red jumper jumped on it.
Batty got there first, and the Broncos survived for the time being. Tackle one as they look to find their way out of their own end of the field. Rhys Williams, one of a number of Welsh internationals on this Broncos team. It's Walker at dummy half. Looking to find a way over. Patterson makes the tackle. Well, let's just say it was round the shoulders. Now the kick forward. Should be no problem, and is not. Collected comfortably enough by Russell. And O'Brien for Stanley and Liam Kay. Kay took two, including Cunningham, to bring him down. Wallace at dummy half, and away they go again, Jake Emmett. Almost up to halfway. Sam Hopkins alongside him. Wallace at dummy half, goes left. Patterson again. Caught the eye as he always does with that ball pate, but he's had a terrific game as well, a couple of tries. Maybe on that left-hand side, and here we are, Josh McCrone. McCrone is over, and another quick try at the start of this second half, within the first 10 minutes, and the skipper crosses.
A super play from the Wolfpack. Outside backs galore involved. Worthington with hands, show and go, dummy. O'Brien around there, Kay around there. Macron the recipient of the last pass for the try. Good play. Macron starts the play. Worthington makes the break, shows and goes. Scott caught the right-hand side of the London Broncos again down that right-hand side for numbers. Still needs to be executed.
Well, when you do it at speed and you do it with accuracy, they make it look very simple, but it takes, well, it takes years, is what it takes to be able to do it that quickly and that accurately, and with that speed of thought as well as speed of creativity. So Macron is over, and Brierley has the opportunity to add the extras and extend the Wolfpack's lead. 24-6 as we are, this to give them clear order of 20 points between themselves and the Broncos. Right over the top, but no good.
Yeah.
Just pulled it a touch. He'll be disappointed with that. That might have been the first one he's missed today.
Good camera angle, showed it clearly going over the top. Disappointed with that, Ryan. Very meticulous in his preparation, but the start for the second half for the Wolfpack has put a huge dent in the belief of this London team.
Well, 10 unanswered points, 2 tries and the conversion as well. Samus gets us underway again. And it is a much steeper hill now for the Broncos than it was at half-time. And there was only 8 points between them. Wallace. Referee. Everybody looked at the referee and everybody stopped for a moment. Hopkins goes down, accepts the challenge.
Well, London were expecting a penalty there. They thought they'd got an obstruction against them, but the referee adjudicated that right.
If you want to meet me here, and
Wallace goes left for the Broncos. Patterson, oh, he's dropped the ball, he's turned it over. Got a chance here for Matty Fleming.
Got a break here, London. A break as in a result.
Well, very much so. And they need a break, they need a breather, they need to score a try, restore their spirits. As Mark Ione goes to ground. Emmett makes sure he isn't going any further. Cunningham goes left. This time it's Hopkins in with the tackle. Cunningham again at dummy half. Finds Samet. 2 over this side, but plenty of white jerseys ready if they come down this near side. Puarangi combining with Samet. And now Meadows to that far side. Williams with Kay, and in comes Sidlow to put his oar in as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if they hit Pitts there on the right-hand side, they may have a bit more of an opportunity.
Little grubber kick through. First there was O'Brien.
Not a bad finish, was it? I think Williams manufactured a kick, so they've got to aim up here, the Broncos, and they seem to be doing that. That's 2 players have taken on. At 5 metres, the Wolfpack have gained. Coming forward in numbers, this Broncos team, and again.
Well, they've got to. I mean, you know, they've got to try and pin them back as long as they can, but there is always that risk that if a hole appears, there may be nobody at home in the sweeper's role, and then it's just a trot down the end of the field, but we want to try and keep the Wolfpack in for the 6 and make them kick it away.
They've done a good job there. It's now how they handle the kick, and now indeed.
Here comes the kick now. Well over halfway. Safely pouched now. It's time for Walker, who's not walking, he's running. Alex Walker scored the 2 tries in the reverse fixture to get the Broncos going again. What is their belief like? What are their energies levels like? Half an hour to go. I wouldn't say that the Wolfpack are over the hills and far away yet, but the Broncos, you feel, need to score next. Batty at dummy half. On the left, and it spilled it again. Brierley will say thank you very much. And you can't afford to make those sort of handling errors.
Samet's tried to prise open the door for the special play that wasn't on.
Handing possession back to the home team. Wallace at dummy half. Sidlow makes 3 or 4 hard meters for the Wolfpack.
And a penalty. Just what London Broncos didn't need. He had every right to get up and play the ball there, Sidlow, and I think it's the boy Batty that's interfered with him at the ruck, so it's a penalty. Field position and 6 players in that special area for the Wolfpack.
They're making another 10 meters off the kick. And tap and go for Chase Stanley. In come the red jerseys. to impede his progress. There's plenty of room here, plenty of options for the Wolfpack. Emmett.
He's had a good game, Emmett, hasn't he?
He has, always does. Wallace. Offloaded to Andrew Dixon. Wallace is still there for him. Wallace faked, tried to go himself, but the Broncos weren't having any of that.
He's a nice guy, yeah.
Holding him up just a metre or so short.
Well, he missed a lot last year.
Now then, Brierley, out to that left-hand side. That's a great tackle on O'Brien. Back they come again. McCrone kept it alive. Had to be dexterous there. Sidlow, Patterson. Ball's gone loose. Kicked dead by Walker. Did what he had to do.
That's a cracking kick from Corey Patterson. The second time he's come up with a kick play.
Yep.
There's everybody surrounding him and he dribbles it off his foot. And great weight. And Walker has to play the ball, has to boot it out to go 6 more plays for this Broncos team.
Wolfpack knocking on the door again. So drop out from underneath their own sticks from Jared Samet. As far north away from the lake, if you're familiar with Varsity Stadium, Lamport Stadium, I beg your pardon. Varsity Stadium is another stadium in the city, Lamport Stadium. But here come the Wolfpack again. Sidlow and Wallace, a dummy half, and now Sam Hopkins. The referee will award a penalty.
Well, I don't know if it's tiredness, Batty involved again. They're just ricocheting off the play the ball area. They've had a lot of ball of Toronto. It's maybe a mark of respect. They're
like
taking themselves 4 scores in front.
Indeed. So Ryan Brierley's done the math, and he will attempt to kick a second penalty. One in the first half between referee and Wolfpack captain. Well, to my mind, Brierley's only missed, and only narrowly at that, only missed 1 kick all afternoon. This is pretty central. With the penalty attempt just outside 20 metres. Should not be a problem for him. This to give the Wolfpack a 20-point lead over the London Broncos. It goes, no problem, the flags are raised, and 26-6 in favour of the Betfred Championship leaders.
Number 7, Ryan Brierley.
Well, he's made that goal-kicking job his own in year 2 of the Wolfpack. Sidlow catches it, is in goal, pushes his way forward all of 15-16 metres.
Krasniqi back on the field for the Wolfpack.
Sidlow and Andrew Dixon forcing his way forward before hitting the deck. The challenger Matt Davis. Now Jake Emmett. He absolutely refuses to come down until he absolutely has to, and got the Wolfpack into Broncos territory again. Sidlow with Wallace in hand. Little kick from Brierley. It'll bounce into touch.
Smart kick. Smart kick. London chasing the game. Wolfpack don't have to chase the game, they have to control the game, and that's part and parcel of controlling the game.
So all the way back on the Broncos 10-metre line. You would expect them to win their own scrum. But then, as we say, referees wrestle again. Not happy with the way the scrum was formed. Let's try it again. Samet with the put-in. Should win it themselves. They've got to find a way out as well. The two tired legs out there. Krasnicki, who's had a little bit of a rest, has certainly got plenty of freshness there. Can they find the way out? Ione, the New Zealander, grabbed by Worthington and Patterson. Pushed back again. Worthington and Patterson again doing a fine job. Matt Davis.
Blowing up it, wasn't he, Matt Davis, thinking he's been impeded, but they've done all right here, the Broncos, in clearing their own line.
Now the kick, the up and under. They're all interested. None more interested than Matty Davis, is it? Davis there? It's Matty Russell, I beg your pardon.
It was. Matty Russell, Puarangi timed it to perfection in relation to his tackle. Looking a bit fractured here, the Broncos. That's a smart play from Kay.
William Kay kept it alive. And here come the Wolfpack again. Referee.
Played advantage there, the referee.
Goes the way of the Wolfpack. Matty Russell, one of the new faces in the Wolfpack lineup. Former Warrington and Wigan player, Scottish international as well, Matty Russell. So Wallace tap and go, Brierley. A little over 20 minutes remaining. Krasnicki holding on tight to the football. Is there room over that left-hand side? Greg Worthington's got Liam Kay for company. And Kay doesn't need an invitation to sprint away. He's forced to come infield this time.
And
now it's Buchanan back on the field. Brierley with the ball. Did it go forward? Was it stolen? Was it ripped away?
It's Jack Buchanan, I think, threw it forward. He's got himself through, he's got his arms free, and he's just thrown it forward.
Your eyesight and your hearing are better than mine, Brian, but then you're a younger man than I, so they should be. Not by much, I hasten to add.
See, you had to take a little bit of a win away, didn't you?
But enough.
Well, they're getting this London side. Pretty confident that they won't throw the towel in. They've got to try and find a way back into the game, and they'll promote the ball. But I have to say, the Wolfpack's defence today has been okay.
Happy Puarangi, New Zealand born, but an Irish international. You can work that one out. You can go and Google him after the game if you like, but not now, because there's too much on this game. Jay Pitts, the captain, making some hard meters forward. And now here they come with Eddie Batty. Out to that far side for Maddie Fleming. It's there to be one. It's there to be one.
That's a try.
It's a try. I think it's a try too. And certainly the congratulations are being offered. And Buchanan couldn't get there to stop it.
Well, he got there, he just couldn't clean it up. I think it's a smart play from the Broncos. They've gone down that right-hand side and made a break. Batty goes at the line and finds a pass, and Walker's chasing for his life. And
yeah, Jared Samet, I think, got the last touch on it. He had the presence of mind to follow the ball in.
Elliot Keir, I think it's Elliot Keir.
Oh, is it? I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It's Keir, yeah, you're right.
Pitts has gone through the right-hand side.
You're right. You're always right, Brian. I don't know why I ever question you about anything.
I wish that was true.
26-10 then, and this is Samet.
Well, a lift here and plenty of time on the clock, so this Broncos team won't. As I said before, just a minute before they made that play, they're having a dig here.
This to reduce the arrears to 14 points. Here. Good kick. It's a good kick. So 26-12. And plenty of time, as Brian says, for the Broncos to mount the comeback if they have the energy and the belief. And the confidence to go at the Wolfpack. It all starts from here. Samuel with the catch. Ooh. Now then.
That's a fair hit, is that one? Because he was on the fly, Ione. Literally.
He's moving.
Davis pokes his nose through. Tell you what, they're running hard here, the Broncos, and they get themselves a penalty.
Yep. Challenge on Davis. Yep. Laying on too long, that's the signal from the referee. So 6 more. So they'll kick for position. And from round about halfway, in fact just inside Wolfpack territory.
Well, this is an important part of the game.
Tap and go. Now what can they fashion from here, because they've got good field position. 6 more tackles. Batty bulldozing his way forward, helped out by Matt Davis, and now Ione. Ione to the deck. Davis at dummy half, helped out by Meadows. Halfway through the tackle count.
Davis again.
Batty, well, it's gone backwards.
Offloaded it to himself.
Well, he did. He went backwards, that's okay. Buchanan fell on him. Batty didn't appreciate the attention, but on we go. Now, can they find a way through? Tom Spencer.
Starting to play the ball quickly, all of a sudden, the Broncos.
Oh, a little grubber kick through. Well watched by Gareth O'Brien.
The penalty for Broncos. Saying that somebody in the backfield, Wallace, has taken a London kick chaser out, so another 6 plays. Big part of the game, this, for the Bronx.
So Davis tap and go, and they're in prime position here. Matt Davis just a metre or so short. Broncos fancy this, they fancy their chances. Meadows trying to bulldoze his way to the line. Held up again, just, well, a metre or so from that Wolfpack line. Can they fashion a way through? There's time and tackles if they can get there. Batty brought to ground.
2 more tackles.
Referee's whistle's gone again. Well, a little bit of afters. And the referee's whistle.
Well, it's dumb from Krasniqi,
well,
whichever way you say it.
So 6 more plays. 6 more. And you, well, I wouldn't say you'd put your house on them scoring, but I mean, it's an invitation to them to score for that indiscipline from the Wolfpack. They're almost there. Matt Davis is over.
Held up, 10 minutes out.
Held up.
This is where you have to be desperate in your defence, but you have to be smart as well. You have to be intelligent as well as energetic. Krasniqi came up with the goods there.
Dixon did well to hold them off. Batty again.
He's trying to get
his
arm
up for the challenge, isn't he?
Yeah, him and Ione and Davis, I have to say, have straightened this London Broncos team up.
Again. This time it's Davis. It's Matt Davies. There's 2 Matt Davises, in fact, in this team. They're close again. Can they force the score? Samet for Jay Pitts, the captain. He'd love to get his name on the score sheet in this fixture. O'Brien pulls him down.
On this last play. It's going to be what can Samet manufacture? What can he bring out? What can he pull out of his bag of tricks?
Grubber kick forward, and Patterson, or is it? It is Patterson. Yeah, just bounced up kindly for him, but he had to keep his eye on the ball. Patterson did what he expected to do, and despite all the pressure, here comes Liam Kay. And the Wolfpack have a chance to ease.
They'll be blowing here, the Wolfpack. They've had 3 defensive sets on their own line.
They have.
They handled it.
Andy Ackers. The offload to Greg Worthington, I believe. It is Worthington. That's Matty Russell.
Oh, good ball.
That's nice handling indeed. Ryan Brierley. Tackle needed to be made. Little grubber kick through, down towards touch, and maybe 4 or 5 metres from the flag.
I mean, just for our viewers then, what do you need as a team? If you've got a white jumper, wearing a white jumper this afternoon, and you've just defended your own try line desperately for 3 sets of 6, which is hard by anybody's count, what do you need? What do you want your half-back to do? You know what you want him to do? Just what he did there. Kick the ball out near the opposition's try line, into the sideline, walk to a scrum, rebuild your energy, and say to London, come from this far.
And this far is on the London 10-metre line now. You can see those posts behind them. So it'll be a long way back for the Broncos, but they do have head and feet at the scrum. They do win the ball. Sama bashed into Patterson there, being dragged off him. There's still good energy about this Broncos team.
Definitely. Good
to get on with it.
Big part of this game.
Yeah, it's been physical, but it's been pretty clean. And there's been some hard shots, but nobody's made a fuss of it. They just get up and get on with it. The referee hasn't had to use any special disciplinary measures, and that's good to see. It's been a good, honest-to-goodness game. 14 points the difference. And about 13 minutes remaining. Gets the captain Pitts, Tommy Half and Davis. Now then, again O'Brien, his catching has been impeccable all day. He hasn't dropped one that I can remember. There's the bravery and the confidence in himself, knowing that he's going to get a lot of those high hanging balls. Liam Kay at dummy half. Buchanan and Kay again at dummy half. With the goose step, Greg Worthington manages to keep it alive for Liam Kay. Almost up to halfway. Energy sapping stuff, but this is all taking seconds off the clock. 2 tackles to go after this one. There's Nicky with Ackers. Oh, this is the last one, I beg your pardon. You're right, there's the kick. Your maths is better than mine as well, including your eyesight and your hearing, Brian. I should be drawing 5-bar gates in front of me. Referee's whistle will favour the Broncos this time.
There's been a few penalties at scruffiness around the ruck.
Samet kicks for touch. And finds it. Makes his team 12, 13, perhaps 15 metres. Fans being royally entertained at the Den, Lamport Stadium, heart of Liberty Village. If you've not been, we'd love you to join us in the coming weeks. This is the first of 8 home games in a row for the Toronto Wolfpack. Good atmosphere, good rugby, and good beer at one end of the ground.
There's a knock-on from London, I think, forward pass at least.
Well, Matty Russell showed interest, but it's going to be a scrum down, which would indicate the knock-on. Time for everybody just to catch their breath again. Buchanan and 1 or 2 others just taking on some refreshment. Andrew Dixon, always willing, always in the thick of it. It'll be Toronto ball, I believe. Yes, Brierley has it. A little over 10 minutes to go. It's not comfortable yet. Matty Russell up to the Broncos 30-metre line. Ackers at dummy half. Now Emmett dragged down 20 metres short. Krasnicki offloads to Brierley. Brierley as Andy Ackers, the former London Bronco. And now Buchanan powering his way forward. They'll go right this time. Did they get it down? Was he held up?
Held up again. That's twice today.
Not quite for Andy Ackers, but they're knocking on the door. They're hammering on the door again. The Wolfpack. Worthington step inside. Still Worthington kept it alive. Finds McCrone. Little grubber kick. Oh, they ricocheted kindly. And Jay Pitts dives on it. Followed by Dixon and Buchanan. And they've dodged another bullet. And they're going to take them back over their own in-goal line here.
They call it goal line kick. The referee, yeah? So they kick it to us from under the post.
So move of the game, the tech-savvy move of the match. It's got to be this, hasn't it? McCrone hits the post and bounces kindly.
But it's what happens afterwards, because they backside rush the bloke back over the line to get the ball back, the Wolfpack there. So that's not only the move, the kick that hits the post, it's what they did afterwards to barrel him in his own in goal to get the ball back in this position we see now.
Buchanan up to inside 20 metres again. Wolfpack keen to put this game to bed sooner rather than later. Ackers, McCrone, and Patterson looking for his hat-trick. That's good tackling, that's good defence by the Broncos, because Patterson was up to speed then. McCrone, full of tricks, full of creativity. Stanley. Oh, and it's gone loose. He was trying to find Russell. Ball's gone loose.
Well, as you'd expect in a top four fixture like this, they've aimed up, haven't they, the Broncos? They've had to defend their own stripe as best as they can, because they've had a lot thrown at them.
Oh, they've thrown the kitchen sink at them, but as I say, for long periods of this game, let's give immense credit to the Broncos. This isn't over yet, but they've certainly played a full part in this, Brian, in my opinion. So on the Broncos' 10-metre line, they win their own ball. Purangi has Cunningham for support at dummy half. Can they break that line? Patterson and Buchanan are determined that that doesn't happen.
3 of them.
7 minutes remaining, plus whatever injury time Mr. Crashley, the referee, chooses to add. A try now for the Broncos, and we might just have a grandstand finish. Alex Walker's trying to make that happen. What a tackle by Krasnicki. Cunningham goes right, and now Meadows. Grubber kick forward, should bounce the way. Well, Kay and the ball end up in touch on that far side.
Well, there'll be a debate as to who took the ball out here.
Yes, I've got a feeling it might have been Liam Kay, but that was in real time. Well, the scrum down is going to be as near as damn it on the Wolfpack 10-metre line. And Josh McCrone has the ball in his hand, which would lead you to believe perhaps that it is going to be a home team put in here. Shade over 5 minutes to go, 26-12 in favour of the Wolfpack, leading the Betfred Championship. Just one defeat all season, and that was in the reverse fixture back in round 4 in cold London in February, and they were handily beaten by the Broncos. I'm not sure this would be payback, but it would get them 2 points closer to their objective. And that's what they're really focused on. Stanley at dummy half. Ryan Brierley up towards halfway. 5 minutes remaining. Andy Ackers at dummy half. Offloads to Dixon. Russell is there. They go left with Brierley. No, he goes right again. Another effective kick. Field position for the Wolfpack.
Again, it's smart play because the Broncos are chasing the game.
While it's down that end of the field, Brian, it's tough for the Broncos to score, and Ryan Brierley knows that. So they will get the put in at the scrum, but they've got the 85 metres to go in the other direction. Puarangi. Cunningham comes away with it, immediately runs into Chase Stanley. Dixon finishes off the tackle. Puarangi again. This time it's Sidlow and Buchanan doing the hard work for the Wolfpack. Mark Ione, the ball from Samet. Up to 40. Tackles are coming in thick and fast. Matty G as they come left. Can they pierce that white jersey? Cunningham again. Tackle, kick forward, once again no problem defensively. O'Brien
been very safe today under the
he
high
has,
ball, hasn't he?
as I say, I mentioned it a little while ago, I don't remember him spilling one today. Matty Russell took 3 to drag him down to the deck. Now Stanley was almost away, and Samet was just holding on to his coattails to try and stop him breaking out. Stanley goes left. Sidlow. Dixon backing his own pace and power. And again, a little kick forward. Once again, we're deep in Broncos territory.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out to the Tech Savvy home opener for this afternoon's match. Today's attendance is 7,384.
Every meters has to be earned.
Thank you all for supporting your Toronto Wolfpack.
Attendance just announced. I think I heard 7,300 and something. Excuse me if I didn't quite catch all the digits. But for the home opener, that's pretty good going, Brian.
Excellent. Excellent crowd. It will only get bigger.
Well, we were well over 8,000 by the end of 2017. And on a weekend when the Toronto Blue Jays are in town as well. 7,000 plus crowd at Lamport Stadium is an excellent turnout. Sam Hopkins in the mix along with Sidlow. To stop the progress, Cunningham will come left. Over halfway. That was a big shot, wasn't it? Big shot from Buchanan to impede, well, it's like Meadows did a brick wall, and Buchanan in the thick of it again. Just about 2.5 minutes remaining on my clock. Up goes Meadows again. And yes, O'Brien again, safe as houses. Gareth O'Brien. Couple of minutes remaining.
Both wingers have been good as well for the Wolfpack. Kay and Russell taking on lots and lots of work. They've had to do against this vigorous London Broncos team.
Liam Kay on the bottom of that pile. Ackers is there in support at dummy half. It looks a little bit high on Worthington, but the referee saw nothing wrong. Ackers again, over halfway, turning one way, twisting the other way. 3, 4, 5 more precious meters for the Wolfpack. Wallace for Brierley. You know what he's going to do, don't you? And that might have taken a deflection off a Broncos boot. Down by the corner flag again.
No, he's given it to the...
Yes, he has. But once again,
they've got to score 3 times in a minute 46.
Wolfcamp have them penned in their own end. It's the Broncos' 10-metre line. Broncos do get head and feet, and they will win the ball, but it's a long, long way. 90 metres. Sidlow and Hopkins making the challenges. Cunningham for Ione. They're determined. They know that time is short now into the final 60 seconds of the 80. And they've turned it over. Chase Stanley has popped up with the ball.
There's another one of those 50-50s.
Yep, and that will probably just about do it. 6 tackles. Brierley. Great. And Wallace. And Brierley. And Brierley is in for the score. And that will finish it off as far as the Wolfpack are concerned. Pressure finally paid off, and the smile on the face of Ryan Brierley tells you everything you need to know.
There's the hooter. Great try, great break. Blake Wallace getting his hands free, left hand. Brian Brearley sniffing on the inside and right under the hedges.
So, final kick of the match, or thereabouts, will fall to Ryan Brierley. An opportunity to convert his own try. 30-12. And the chance to add those 2 extra points. And there is no doubt about the result now. Broncos had their opportunities in the second half. Ryan Brierley, in conjunction with Blake Wallace, has slammed the door in the face of the London Broncos, and Brierley will no doubt slot this over into the parking lot. Well, there are plenty of cars waiting to be dented. Here we go, right out of the stadium, and well, I think it might have hit something. Anyway, it's not my car, I came in on the train. There you go, they've gone to retrieve it. They've gone to, or a fan's gone to get a souvenir of the match ball, and we have handshakes all round, Brian, and a final score in favour of the Toronto Wolfpack by 32 points to 12.
Yeah, better team on the day, more efficient, clinical at times in relation to their finish, which you have to be, but the Broncos, they aimed up to. They made a competition of this for many parts of the game they're involved.
Time for the Air Transat man of the match, Brian.
Well, Jacob Edmonds have a sensational game. We've seen some starry, flashy bits on the fringes of that, but he's just rocked up and played long minutes for a front rower and done everything right for me. So, Jake Emmett is my man of the match.
Jake Emmett of the Toronto Wolfpack is your Air Transat man of the match. There were a few to pick from. Maybe Corey Patterson, who had a couple of tries as well, but there's the man. Who's the Air Transat man of the match. Jake Emmett, one of the unsung heroes of this team. Always does the job, always ready to get his hands dirty for the cause. And caught the eye of Brian Noble today. And Jake Emmett is your Air Transat man of the match. A match that has been won by the Toronto Wolfpack in comfortable style in the end over the London Broncos by 32 points to 12. Toronto Wolfpack Rugby is presented in partnership with Air Transat. Vacation is calling. And brought to you by Maple Leaf Diamonds, true Canadian treasures. And by Tech Savvy, 20 years of being different in a good way. Welcome back to Lamport Stadium. Defend the Den is the motto this season, and the Wolfpack have done so in their first appearance of the season in the city. Toronto Wolfpack Rugby. The post-game show is presented by Tech Savvy. A fair price for internet isn't science fiction, it's Tech Savvy. And Corey Patterson, with a couple of tries today, Brian, was certainly one of the Wolfpack players who caught the eye.
Yeah, he definitely has a presence on the fringes, doesn't he? And second half, I think his defence got a whole lot better. Thought he missed a few in the first half. However, he's quite a considerable weapon to have on that. You've got to pay attention to him, and he's come up with a couple of good tries.
We're going to get hopefully some reaction from the players or perhaps some coaches in a few moments' time. You also talked, Brian, about Jake Emmett. You gave him your man of the match. What was
I think
his performance?
I thought both wingers were good. I thought Russell and Kay as well. I know Brian's catching skills. It's but I just think Jake Emmett just did things that some people goes unnoticed. He was great.
Okay, let's go downstairs, shall we? Get some reaction to that game. And at pitch side, we welcome in Natalie Stoberman. Natalie.
Thank you very much, Nigel. Danny Ward, head coach of the Broncos. First game on Canadian soil. What are your takeaways?
Well, first, it's been fantastic event. It's been quality. We really enjoyed ourselves and put on a great exhibition here. But unfortunately, his performance has been pretty disappointing. So yeah, we're disappointed we've not won the game. But yeah, overall, it's been a great day.
Well, your team has been able to give the Wolfpack their only loss this season in the league. But what kept you guys off the scoreboard today?
We just didn't execute well in attack, really. His halves didn't connect, and we just didn't play as much football. We were just a little bit worn out at times, and a little bit basic. So we can play a lot more football than that, and we didn't show up well today, I don't think.
And after this, you'll be heading home, and you have a home game next week. But your team has a reputation of being dangerous attackers and being able to score from anywhere on the field. What kind of adjustments do you need to make for your team to be able to bring that back? I
think we just got to play a bit more confidence, throw the ball around and enjoy yourself a little bit more. But that's credit to Wolfpack. They defended really well. So against better teams like that, you've got to try harder to break them down, and they were very good defensively today. So yeah, we've got back to the drawing board a little bit.
There we go, back to the drawing board. Now you have the season matchup tied at 1. Have a safe flight home.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, and we have head coach of the Wolfpack, Paul Rowley, coming in. Here we go, the winning coach tonight. What are your thoughts on this win?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit scrappy at times, and we made a bit of hard work for ourselves, to be fair. But it's just nice to get it out of the way. I think there is quite a bit of nerves around the camp, you know, but it's good to draw a line in the sand, and we're here for work and we're here to do a job, and so to get that win against a really good opposition, really well coached, it's fantastic for us. So we're up and running, and you know, we're undefeated at the Den, and that's how we want to keep it.
Exactly, and mission accomplished on avenging that loss in February by this team. But in terms of the first half, it was slow scoring. Was there something that may have taken the wind out of the sails, like Ashton Sims coming out of the game early?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for Ashton because I know how excited he was. He's a lively character, and you know, he's pretty gutted to not to be as involved as he'd like to be. But you know, he'll be bouncing around for the next however many weeks he's injured for. So I don't think that was it. I just thought both teams a little bit tentative. It was warm out there, new surface. It's quite heavy on the legs, believe it or not, with it not bedding in just yet. So yeah, I don't know. I think it was two quality sides testing each other out, and that's what we get. That's a ball game, and that's how we like it.
And the nerves coming in. Are you going to be able to sleep well tonight, getting a win in this home opener?
I never sleep well because, you know, you get a win and you worry about your next game. So if you lose, you worry about that, and if you get a win, you worry about your next. It's life as a coach.
All right, we'll see you next Saturday.
Cheers, thank you.
Back to you, Nigel.
Natalie, thank you very much indeed. So by 5 tries to 2, it might have been scrappy in part, but it was always entertaining, and for long periods it was in doubt. Next games, by the way, for the Wolfpack, back here next weekend against the Dewsbury Rams, and then the Barrow Raiders are in Canada towards the end of the month. That is June 23rd. Games kick off locally at 4:30 in the afternoon. If you're in the area, then you'd be more than welcome to come and join us. So 5 tries to 2, final score 32-12 in favour of the Wolfpack. From Brian Noble and our entire Toronto crew, I'm Nigel Reid. Thanks so much for watching.